So just some basics on Qigong is energy flows like a garden hose, so any rough, tight positions like this doesn't allow energy to flow. So in Qigong you want to be as loose and open as possible. So one of the first things that we'll do is just put your mind in your wrists and start rotating your wrists. We use our joints throughout the day, and energy can get clogged and stuck in the joints. So just by lightly rotating, we'll start to open up that stuck energy. And put your mind in your wrists. That will help to bring energy there, so we'll loosen up any of that stuck energy. Your mind will bring clean, fresh, healing energy in there. And then if you stop, just notice how it feels from your wrists down into your hands. You may feel tingles, you may feel a little bit of movement, so key in on those things and we'll start to feel more of that as the practice goes on. So rotating your elbows, again very lightly, breaking up any energy that may be stuck in there, having your mind in your elbows to bring energy in the spaces where that stuck energy was. And then once you stop, notice what it feels like from your elbows down to your fingers, and you'll feel that feeling again. So we'll get that to go into our whole arm by rotating our shoulders. You want to get both directions in your rotation, so if you're rotating forward, you also want to rotate back. You can switch back and forth. Shouldn't feel like a workout, so don't push or stretch, and you shouldn't feel a burn like cardio. It should be nice, light, gentle movements. So now notice what your arms feel like, and they should feel very different compared to the rest of your body. And the first place where stress and tension comes, when you get aggravated, everything starts to come here. So what you can do to release this is you're going to shrug one shoulder and squeeze, and then slowly release your grip as you slowly drop your shoulder. So inhale and squeeze, slowly drop your shoulder, slowly release your grip. See if you can time your movement to your breathing, so inhaling, and then exhaling as you release your grip and you drop your shoulder. Inhale and squeeze. Exhale and slowly release. Slowly drop your shoulder. So then notice what that side feels like compared to the other side. It may even look a little lopsided after that. So balancing out, inhaling and squeezing, slowly dropping your shoulders, slowly releasing your grip. Inhale and squeeze, exhale and release. See how much of your breathing can be chained to the movements. This way you become one piece. Inhaling and exhaling. Notice what you feel like after that. So, because we're always on our phones or computers, we're starting to grow like this. Quick, easy way to reset that is not using your elbow or your wrist, so let your whole arm hang dead, and you're just going to push one shoulder as far forward as you can, as high up by your ear as you can, and then way, 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 way back, and then let it drop. And again, as far forward as possible, as high up by your ear as possible, and then way, 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 way back, and then let it drop. And notice how that side feels. Your chest should feel different. Your shoulder should be in a different place. I may even look a little bit lopsided after that. So we balance out. Other side as far forward as possible. As high under your ear as possible. Way, 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 way back. And then let it drop. Again, as far forward. As high up. Way, 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 way back. And let it drop. You may now notice those little tingles moving from your arms are now starting to move into your body. If you don't feel that, that's okay. So the next thing is loosening up the spine. You're going to let your arms hang heavy and relaxed, and you're just going to rotate your spine, let your arms flap. Make sure both hands hit your body. If your hands don't hit your body, you can over-rotate. So make sure your hands are completely relaxed, and movement all comes from facing both shoulders to one wall and then both shoulders to the other wall. And that will give you the momentum and rotate your spine. And next is we're going to tap the front hand on the side of our ribs. Back hand goes wherever it wherever it lands comfortably. The next one is the front hand is underneath the armpit. Back hand still wherever it goes comfortably. Next is tapping the sides of the shoulder. And the last one is back of the hand hits the back of the neck. The other one hits the kidneys. Just staying heavy and relaxed, allowing your spine to rotate. Give yourself a little slap. And then just relax for a second. Notice how your spine feels. Notice how your whole upper body feels. You should feel a lot of movement, a lot of tingling. And notice how your whole upper body feels compared to your lower half. So for neck tension, which is very common, is we're going to place one hand on the shoulder, and we're going to place our ear to the opposite shoulder as we're holding the phone, and we're going to slowly come back to center. This time, letting both hands be heavy and relaxed so that it weighs down, and we're placing our head as if it's on a pillow. And just relaxing your ear into your shoulder, not fighting the stretch. Both hands are heavy and relaxed, and then slowly coming back to center. And third time, as if you're just passed out, not fighting the stretch, completely relaxed, letting both hands stay heavy so it increases the stretch in this area. And slowly come back to center, and notice how that side of your neck feels compared to the other side. You should feel a lot less tension there. So balance out again. So hand to the opposite shoulder, like you're holding the phone, bring your ear, and slowly come back to center. And this time like you're lying on a pillow, relaxing, letting both of these hands be heavy and relaxed. Slowly coming back to center. And this time like you're just passed out on that pillow, completely relaxed, not fighting the stretch at all. Both hands are heavy and relaxed to increase the stretch here. And then slowly coming back to center. Both sides should feel very loose. The only place where you should feel tension is in the center of your neck. So if you place both hands on either side of the spine, you want to nod up and down gently, like you're saying yes. So don't go your full range of motion. The goal in this exercise is to feel the muscles moving underneath your fingers. And you can move your hands up and down on your spine, but do a few rotations in the same place before you move up or down. You may notice which areas are more tense than others as you move your hand up and down the spine. And you can concentrate in that area, let your fingers rest in that area. Apply a little bit of pressure so that you can feel the muscle, not too light, but you don't have to really press in either. So the next thing is with your hands in the same position is just nodding left and right, like you're saying no. Again, not going your full range of motion, just nodding gently back and forth, feeling where the tension is and concentrating your fingers in that area. Again, move up and down your spine. Feel those areas of tension. Concentrate your fingers in that area. And now when you relax, your neck should feel very, very loose, very open. Energy should be able to flow through very easily. So the next one is hip circles. You want to have your hands behind you and you want to rotate your hips as if you're in a barrel and your hips are touching the entire rim of the barrel. Put your mind in your hips, which will allow energy to flow back in those areas that we open up. And you want to go both directions, so rotate your hips to the left as well as the right. Wider, so your feet are going to be outside where your shoulders are, and wider circles. It helps if you focus on one point and stare at it and try to keep your face level. Same thing, go in both directions. Have your mind in your hips. And then relax, and you should feel energy start to flow through your legs and your hips. You should feel a release and a current moving down your legs. So while we're in that area, you want to take light fists and you want to have kind of hollow, like you're holding something, and you want to lean forward a little bit to expose your tailbone, and you want to slightly tuck your chin. And you're going to take your fists and just pat that area. Relax and see what that does in your body. Let those tingles radiate through, release any sort of stress and tension or any sort of stuck energy. And with those same hollow fists, as you want to get your hip bones, get all the way around. You can come to the front, you can go to the back. Stuck energy there, increasing blood flow in that area. And just relax and see what that does to your body. You should feel a little bit of a sinking, things opening up, things moving and tingling. So the next one is on your tippy toe. You want to rotate in a circle. Want to see if you can feel your ankle, your knee, and where your leg connects to your body, all making circles. If you can feel all three spots at the same time in your mind, that's awesome. If that's a little difficult for you to do a few rotations focused on your ankle, a few rotations on your knee, and a few rotations up top. Get both directions. Going out is usually easier than going in, so if you're having a tough time getting that started and you're trying to come in, see if you can go outwards first, get a little momentum, and then switch directions. Then relax and see how that leg feels compared to the other leg. You should be able to feel a lot of motion going, things moving, energy flowing, where the other leg may be a little stiff. So we'll balance out, go to the other leg, rotating. Again, if you can feel all three spots, that's great. If you have to do one at a time, that's okay also. Make sure you get both directions. And then relax and see how you feel. That leg should now open up and have energy moving through it. Both legs should feel more alive, like they have more energy flow. So this one is really good for the knees, is you want to take your hands and pat right behind your knee. Taking both hands on the same knee and patting the sides of that knee. And rub up and down. Rub front to back. And then you want to take your hands starting at the top of your kneecap and going out, so you go from the top to the sides of your kneecap, making a V shape from the way you're looking. Your hands should make a V when you're looking down. And then coming from the sides of the kneecap to the bottom so that your hands make an X. And now when you stand up, your knees should be all warm and fuzzy. So we'll do the other side, patting behind the knee. Patting the sides. Rocking up and down, rubbing front and back, starting from the top of the kneecap and making a V shape so that you get from the top to the sides, and then from the sides underneath, making an X pattern. Stand up and feel what that knee feels like. So now that we've opened everything up, that's just releasing stuck energy, we can start to bring energy in and start to cultivate energy. One is through brushing, so you want to float your hand up with your palm facing up, and you want to start from your shoulder, brush out past your fingertips 9 times. Make sure you get your all 5 fingers and make sure you go out past your fingertips. Once you're done with the 9, you flip over, start from your fingernails, getting all 5 fingers and brushing up 9 times. If you have neck problems, you can bring the energy all the way up to your neck if you need a little extra. And then relax and see how that arm feels compared to your other arm. Sometimes it'll feel lighter, longer. have little tingles. So we'll go to the other side, floating your hand up, starting from your shoulder, brushing out past your fingertips, getting all 5 fingers, brushing 9 times. And then flipping your hand over, starting from your fingernails, all 5 fingers going up. Again, if you need more energy, you can bring it up to your neck if you have neck issues. And relax and see what that feels like. Both arms should be very alive. There is a great energy point, your Ming Men point behind your belly button. So you want to take both hands and rub up and down right behind your belly button. One of the side effects of this is that it will warm you up. So if you're ever cold, this is a really good technique to use. If you're doing it to warm up, you can do 2 OK symbols with your hands and take those 2 symbols and rub up and down. Keeping your fingers connected, it will warm you up very, very quickly. Now once you stop, you should feel little tingles start to radiate from that area. And allow that to work through your body. Just take notice to where it goes. You don't have to do anything, just notice it. So for your legs, your thumb is going to ride along the seam of your pants. Your hands are along the back, so on the way down, you get the back and the side. You come in by the ankles, up the inside, up over the stomach, and down the ribs, back to your starting position. So up the inside on the way up, side and back on the way down. And notice what your legs feel like. They should be very alive, very tingly. You should feel very light. If you want to watch in place, you can feel what that does. So then we can start to bring energy in a very simple way, is just by relaxing. Anytime you're doing Qigong, you want your tongue touching the roof of your mouth, just slightly behind your teeth. And you want your knees to be soft. You don't have to squat down, but you don't want to have them locked either. So you're just going to place your hands with your 4 fingers in front. The thumb is behind you as if you're holding paper grapefruit. So you don't want to drop the grapefruit, but you don't want to crush it either. Just start to notice your breathing. Notice what the palm of your hands feel like. You want to try to be relaxed as possible, so don't use muscle to sprawl your fingers out. You want to be nice and relaxed, have space in between your fingers, but try to do that through relaxation rather than using muscle. You may feel your hands start to warm up or get a little pulse in them. You may feel a little static, a little tingle. People feel different things. The next one, now that your hands are prepped up, is starting to make an energy ball. So we'll wind up in a position that looks like this, and I'm going to break down all aspects of it. My knees are soft, My tongue is at the roof of my mouth. If I'm looking down at my hands, it looks like I'm eating a giant sandwich, so all of my fingers are pointing towards each other. I'll have space underneath my armpit. This is very important when you first start, is to leave space underneath your armpit. You don't want to raise your shoulders to the point where you feel tension. So if you start to feel tension, then just relax a little bit. You can get the space under your armpits just by pointing your elbows out a little bit. And you don't want to point them out too far where you feel tension in your elbows either. So find a way to stay nice and round, nice and soft, just like a garden hose. You don't want to kink anything. This will allow the energy to run through. So you want to have all of your attention in the tip of your middle and your ring finger. And just to make sure that we're not using muscle, we can start from our hands at our side, and we're just going to float up as if our arms were helium balloons. And as they start to rise, our elbows will point out to the side to give space underneath the armpits. You don't have to lift your arms very high. So even if they're in front of your belly button down here, that's good enough. Lower or higher, as long as you're not creating tension in your shoulders or your elbows. So with all of your focus on those 4 fingertips, slowly pull your hands apart and together again without touching. So you can move them out and back in. You get close, but don't touch. You'll notice I have space in between my fingers. Again, we're not using tension or muscle to get that. You can imagine that your fingers are resting on imaginary cotton balls, and that's what's creating space. So as you do that, just shift a little bit of your intention into that space in between those 4 fingers, and see if you notice any sort of sensation going on. Some people say it's ecstatic, some people feel magnets. Everybody has their own little different feel to it, which is what makes Qigong great. So if you're able to feel that, then do the same exercise, just focus on the palms of your hands. So all of my focus and intention is in the palms, everything else is exactly the same. So just focusing on the palms and moving your hands apart and together again, without your fingers touching. And then again, shift a little bit of your focus to that space in between your palms, and you may start to feel that magnetic feel, that resistance. So once you key in on that feeling, you can actually use your hands and pull on that. So it should stretch just like taffy. You can pull it apart and then have it come back in like a dough ball or snowball. Just pulling it apart and then floating your hands back together. Keep space underneath the armpit. Make sure your knees are soft. Tongue is at the roof of your mouth. And nice and relaxed. Once you're able to stretch and condense this, you should be able to move this in any direction. You can stretch it up and down. Stretch it left and right like we just were. It stretches on an angle. Any way that you want to move, it's basically like an energy slinky. You can start to have this substance pull apart and together. Once you start to key in on this feeling, if you relax your hands and have your hands up like this, as you float your hands in, you'll feel a point where you hit resistance. and it'll start to push back on you. If you're not feeling that, you can open up space underneath your armpits. And again, just don't have tension. So nice and relaxed. You can get that space just by rounding out your elbows. So once you get that pushback, you can start to ride your hands like a bicycle. And see if you can feel the edges of it. And play around with the distance. If you don't feel it, you can move your hands further out or closer together. Just play around with distance as you do that, and you'll eventually find a place where, as you're circling, if you find that sweet spot with the distance, it'll feel like two magnets of the same polarity. And your hands will circle around it. They don't want to touch. You'll get a really good magnetic feel. Once you get that magnetic feel, you can start to do this. Your fingertips direct energy, so wherever you point your fingers, you may feel a sensation go down to the bottom of your hands. As you do that, coming out of your fingertips. If you can feel that drag along your palm, then you can move that all the way up your arm. See if you can get to your elbow, staying relaxed. If you have long sleeves on, you should still be able to feel this right through your long sleeves. So just so that you have a better idea, I'll show the camera, this is what I'm doing. Just staying relaxed, pointing my fingers towards the area that I want to move energy to. You can also flip your arm and feel what it feels like on the other side. Different sides of your arm, you feel different sensations. You can get both arms. Will start to get you to learn how to direct energy and move energy in your body. And then if you relax, notice what those parts that you were moving energy through feel like compared to the rest of your body. It should feel a little bit different. So if you take your hands and place them on your cheek right now, you should feel that your hands are very, very warm. So if there's any place on your body that needs a little extra energy, you can just place it on that part of your body and imagine that that part of your body can drink in the energy. So imagine that it's just breathing in that energy on that part that you need. You can get your neck, your back, your knees. If you're at home, if you're trying to get to your knees, it's better if you sit rather than crunching over. The more tension and leaning that you have, you'll feel stress and tension points, and that blocks the energy. So if you get your hands like this, if you sit in the chair, it's much easier for you to reach down without creating tension in your body, and that will let the energy flow through a little bit better. So we also have movements which will start to cultivate energy with Qigong. A very simple movement is letting your arms hang relaxed. Fingers are pointed toward the floor. Fingers are nice and relaxed, a little bit of space in between the fingers. And we inhale, and then our palms face out, and we exhale. So your knees are soft. You have space in between your fingers, everything is nice and relaxed. Inhaling, feeling the energy come all the way up through the bottom of your feet, through the top of your head. Even though my hands aren't moving from my feet to above my head, with our minds we are allowing the energy to come up through the bottom of the feet, all the way through the top of the head, and then settling all the way back down. Chaining our breathing, so as we inhale, The energy goes up, and as we exhale, the energy in the hands go down. Try to stay as relaxed as possible. If you feel tension anywhere in your shoulders or your elbows or your wrist, try to see how much of that tension and stress that you can subtract from that. So feel like you're just floating or maybe even underwater. When you're underwater, all your muscles float. So you don't have to carry the weight of your muscles. See if you can get that feeling where you just move the bones and everything else just floats. Easily and effortlessly chaining your breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. Focus on your breath and try to clear your mind. Letting your whole body operate as one piece. So slowly bringing this exercise to a close, we will allow our hands to both face up, palm up almost as we're carrying something. For the next exercise, our hands are going to cross and meet in your center line. One hand is going to, your bottom hand is going to rotate to face down. Top hand is going to rotate to face up. And we're going to lean so that we feel the stretch on this side. It's really great for opening up energy. Here, you start to relax, both hands in the center line, both hands start to rotate so that they face up and they meet again as if you're carrying something. And we'll switch to the opposite hand now, so this hand will cross into your center. Bottom hand starts to rotate down at heart level, the top hand starts to face up, so palms are facing in opposite directions and leaning to open up this side, coming back to center and allowing that top hand to float down. Both hands rotating so that they face up, and then back to this carrying position. So switch hands. Both hands rotate so that they're in opposite directions and lean to stretch. Back in, exhaling, letting both hands rotate so that they face the ceiling, meeting in the center, letting both hands rotate so that they're facing opposite directions, leaning for that stretch, coming back into your center line, both hands rotating to face up. To your starting position, both hands will rotate to face opposite directions. Slightly lean. And floating so that both hands palm up. Intersecting. Both hands rotate so that they're facing opposite direction, so your palms are leaning, stretching, opening, exhaling, relaxing, letting that top hand float down like a feather. Do one more round of that. Both palms rotate to face opposite directions, lean, top hand floats down like a feather, Both palms rotate to face up. Hands intersect in the middle. Both palms rotate to face opposite directions. And a lean. Floating back down. And then just move around a little bit. See how your body feels. You should feel loose, you should feel open. If you're sensitive enough, your hands may tingle a little bit because that will start to open energy back up. So you can test your energy ball now. If you're nice and relaxed and you just allow everything to float back in gently, you'll start to feel where it pushes back again. And it may feel a little bit different than it did last time. See if you can get that magnetic feel again. Just by cycling your hands a little bit, play with the distance that your hands are. Sometimes you have to move them out a little bit more or in a little bit more to feel that. Have that space underneath your armpits in order to allow the energy to flow. Have space in between the fingers to allow energy to collect. And this time just hover your hands in front of your face. You should be able to feel heat and energy starting to radiate off your hands. Very, very nice exercise is coming from the bridge of the nose, coming up around your forehead and down your chin. So your hands are actually making a heart shape on your face. And we'll do this 9 times also. Start by the bridge of your nose, come out to form the top of the heart, and down by your chin, forming the bottom of the heart. And then notice what your face feels like after that. That feels very, very nice. It wakes everything up. It gets energy flowing. You'll feel your face start to tingle, right? So one other good thing that is good for the immune system and also for relaxation is if you take your fingers and you place them in your temples and you rotate into a circle 36 times. Now is a really good time to build your immune system with everything going on. See what you feel like after you do that. You may notice some energy starting to flow up in that area, things starting to move. And then we want to do the same exercise, rotating in the opposite direction 36 times. Do that, notice how your body feels. You may feel a little bit calmer. Some people say that helps them to sleep. Sometimes it also helps to move energy around and gives you a little immune boost. So there is a balancing Qigong exercise. Hands are in your center line, top hand fingers are facing up. Bottom hand fingers are facing down. Make sure you have enough room around you where you're practicing left and right, where you're not going to hit anything. And top hand is going to move up, bottom hand is going to move down. Hands come out to the sides so that you're making a T. And then your hands come back and palms will face each other in the center line. back to your starting position. Your top hand will face up, your bottom hand will face down. So whichever direction your fingers are pointing, that's where your arms are going to move. They will want to naturally make a circle and come out to the side, and then continue that circle. Let your palms meet in the middle. Bring your hands in, breathe in, breathe out anything that's unbalanced. Start to collect from here. Feel like you're pulling in everything that is balanced. As your hands come in, you're compressing that and breathing it in through your chest. Top hand faces up, bottom hand points down. Moving out to the side into a T. Inhaling and breathing in balanced energy. Top hand, fingers point up, bottom hand, fingers point down. Exhaling, releasing out anything unbalanced, anything that no longer serves you. Releasing it, letting it go. Breathing in all that balanced energy that you collect. So exhaling, releasing anything unbalanced until this point. At this point, you can begin to gather and collect all that is balanced and healing. Compressing that, breathing that right in. Fingers up and down, exhaling anything unbalanced, anything you want to release, any stuck emotions, any sort of trauma, releasing any pain, discomfort, dis-ease. Breathing in and collecting all that is balanced and healing. Releasing anything unbalanced on the way out. Collecting all that is balanced on the way in. Compressing. Breathing. Whichever hand winds up on top at the end of the exercise, that is the hand that the fingers are going to face up. So bottom hand, fingers face down, top hand, fingers face up. Exhaling, releasing anything unbalanced. At this point, gathering in all that is balanced. Slowly bring this exercise to a close. Start to float your hands down. You may feel all that energy in your hands. And take a pass. You have your Danti, which is your main energy storage center. If you pass your hands somewhere in front of your belly button or below, you'll feel a spot that your body just feels like it just naturally wants to go there. It feels the best. So just hovering your hands in front of there allows energy to basically fuel up. You'll fuel up that gas tank. You'll be able to store it. So as we cultivate all this energy with Qigong, we want to save it for a later date. Give our body some energy to run off of. You can give yourself a little bit of a boost if you're sensitive enough to energy. You'll feel that when you do this is a little bit of a smoother flow. If you want a deeper, more focused flow, for women, it's going to be your right hand is in front, your left hand floats in front of that. For men, it's going to be your left hand in front and your right hand floats in front of that. There is space in between both, so you're not touching your body, you're not touching your hands, and you may feel a little bit more of a focused energy flow start to come in. So it's whatever your body is asking for, whatever feels the best. You can switch back and forth. So you can do this for a while, switch back to this, see which one feels better. Some days or sometimes it will change. So sometimes this feels better, sometimes this feels better. Always listen to your body. Qigong is all about tuning into your body. So we'll do one more video before this or one more exercise before we stop the video. This next one is allowing your hands to be in front of you, and you're going to allow energy like a wave to come in through the top of your head. So as your hands come up, you feel that energy come through the top of your head. Palms face out at heart level, and you exhale and you release. Your hands will turn over and draw energy into your lower half, into your waist and your legs. Your hands will float up to mix the top energy with the bottom energy, and as your hands push down, you feel that energy go all the way down through your legs, and we're back in starting position. So hands float up, feel the energy come through the top of your head. Exhale at heart level, releasing. Hands flip over and pull energy in to your lower half. Take a little pause in the breath there. Inhale and exhale as you push that energy all the way down through your legs and out through your feet, back into starting position. So inhaling, allowing energy to come in, exhaling anything that is stuck, stale, to make room for that energy. Draw your hands in towards yourself, bring that energy into your lower half, and then push that all the way down through your legs. So we want to make room in our body. So I always use the analogy of ordering all new furniture for your house, but not moving out the old stuff. So we're pulling all this energy in, and it's right there, but we can't use it because we don't have space, because we're holding on to old energy, old emotions, old trauma. So we want to release anything that is holding space to allow this new energy to start to come in. So be very mindful of doing your spring cleaning. So I'll show you the same exercise from the side. Inhaling, breathing in, exhaling and releasing any energy that may be stuck, that no longer serves you. Flipping your hands over, drawing energy into your lower half, allowing that energy to mix and pushing that energy all the way through your legs. So inhaling, feeling that energy come in like a wave through the top of your head. Exhaling and releasing any sort of stuck trauma, emotion, pain, discomfort, dis-ease. Allowing all those things to release their grip on you, moving them out of your body far, far away. And then pushing this new, healthy, clean, vital and rejuvenating energy through you. Allowing the energy to pass through the top of your head like a wave into your body. Drawing energy into your lower half. Feeling that your hands rise, mixing your top and bottom, your heaven and earth. And pushing through, all the way out through the bottom of your feet. Chaining the breathing together. So you want to inhale as your hands rise, exhale as you release and you make space. Flip your hands over, inhaling all that energy you're drawing in. You can exhale here and pause. Inhale as your hands come up like a wave, and exhale as you push all that energy through your body, through your lower half. So inhaling, breathing in, exhaling, using your breath to blow all those things that no longer serve you far, far away from you. Inhaling, breathing into your lower half, pausing, inhale, exhale. Inhaling as your hands rise. Exhaling as you release. Inhaling as you draw energy in. Exhaling in this pause here. Inhaling as your hands rise. Exhaling as you push all of that energy through your feet. So inhaling and getting energy through your whole top half. Exhaling and releasing what might be holding space for that new energy. Inhaling and drawing energy into your lower half. Pausing, exhaling, letting that energy release from your lower half. We mix the top and the bottom, and we use this push to clear out anything that you no longer want in your body. So inhaling, clean energy in from the top, exhaling, releasing anything you no longer want. Inhaling, drawing this clean, vital energy, healing energy into yourself. Exhaling, let everything start to get loose. And we can now use this to push all those things that are loose, that no longer serve you, that you no longer want to stay in your body. Always let your breathing be your metronome. You move as fast as you breathe. So let your breath control the motion. And always try to get your whole body to operate as one. Breathing controls the motion in and out. It will solidify you for you to act as one whole unit. Hopefully that's enough exercises for you to be able to follow along at home. If you want more information, you can go to olshealing.com, and I'll be posting some other videos soon. Thank you for joining me.